It is a sacred thing to give the highest honor to the truth. Aristotle. The Nicomachean Ethics is the name normally given to Aristotle's best known work on ethics. The work, which plays a preeminent role in defining Aristotelian ethics, consists of 10 books, originally separate scrolls, and is understood to be based on notes from his lectures at the Lyceum. The title is often assumed to refer to his son Nicomachus, to whom the work was dedicated, or who may have edited it, although his young age makes this less likely. Alternatively, the work may have been dedicated to his father, who was also called Nicomachus. The theme of the work is a Socratic question previously explored in the works of Plato, Aristotle's friend and teacher, of how men should best live. In his Metaphysics, Aristotle described how Socrates, the friend and teacher of Plato, had turned philosophy to human questions, whereas pre-Socratic philosophy had only been theoretical. Ethics is about how individuals should best live, while the study of politics is from the perspective of the lawgiver, looking at the good of the whole community. The Nicomachean Ethics is widely considered one of the most important historical philosophical works, and had an important impact upon the European Middle Ages, becoming one of the core works of medieval philosophy. It therefore indirectly became critical in the development of all modern philosophy as well as European law and theology. Many parts of the Nicomachean Ethics are well known in their own right, within different fields. Aristotle argues that the correct approach for studying ethics or politics involves discussing what is beautiful or just, agreed to be true by people of good upbringing and experience in life, and to work from there to a higher understanding. Aristotelian ethics is about what makes a virtuous character ethic possible, which is in turn necessary if happiness is to be possible. He describes a sequence of necessary steps to achieve this. First, righteous actions, often done under the influence of teachers, allow the development of the right habits. Character is a hexis like health or knowledge, meaning it is a stable disposition. Good habits are described as a precondition for good character. Aristotle eventually comes to argue that the highest of all human virtues is itself not practical, being contemplative wisdom. But achieving this supreme condition is inseparable from achieving all the virtues of character, or moral virtues. The ethics does not end at its apparent peak, identifying perfect happiness with the life devoted to theories. Instead, it goes on to introduce the need for a study of legislation, on the grounds that it is not sufficient only to know about virtue, but one should try to put that knowledge to use. Finally, Aristotle repeats that theories are not enough if it has no effect in practice. However, the practice of virtue requires good education and habituation from an early age in the community. Aristotle closes the Nicomachean Ethics therefore by announcing a program of study in politics, including the collecting of studies of different constitutions, and the results of this program are generally assumed to be contained in the work that exists today and is known as the Politics. Thanks for listening. Courtesy and references by Wikipedia and Google.